Spider-Man was and still is one of the most impressive games of its time. And now, having amazing gameplay and emotion. But so does the second one. They have the same amazing gameplay and emotion. Not only the same emotion, but the same plot points, story, and the same scenes. In fact, the two games are the same, just with more Spider-Man and scrambled with new villains and characters. Before I prove my point, let me make it very clear. The first game is possibly my favorite game of all time, if not 100% my top 5. And the second one didn't do any less for me than the first. They're both beautiful and perfect games, which is probably why the devs didn't even change the second one. I just think they are suspiciously similar and probably could have been changed a little bit. So let me take you on this journey to look at the oddly similar storyline of these two games. Thank you. We start by seeing both Miles and Peter and the struggling to get what they need to do done to progress their personal lives, for Peter paying the bills and Miles doing his college applications. Then we get to see an absolute insane suit up. Once we arrive at the crime scene, we almost immediately get our asses handed to us. But once we get a little suit damage going, we truly start to fuck shit up, giving us an absolute banger of a boss fight, telling us this game is truly one of a kind, or at least the first one. The first one's one of a kind. The second one, not so much. Once the dust settles and the villains get on their way to prison, it tells us that we will soon be in for an ass kicking, foreshadowing our struggle to keep our lives and the city safe.
1 month! In 1 month you'll wish you had me back! You're the ones who are gonna need help when we come for you.
Then, almost immediately, we cut to two absolutely badass intros to our new villains, with one being an unfazed, absolute unit of a hunter, and the other running a charity. Both terrifying villains. We then get to see Peter get fired.
You're fired.
Twice.
City, I can no longer pay you.
In both games. Man, why the fuck does Peter get so damn targeted in these games? I mean, why not give Miles some struggle? I mean, to be fair, he is black. Right after we get introduced to the villains, we get introduced to a major side character in both games that is close, or soon to be close, to Peter, who is going to be playing a huge role in the future story. This only kinda counts, but we do get introduced to Martin Lee and Scorpion, who are obviously in the first game. I don't know, it's kind of just there. As soon as that happens, though, giant group of goons comes out of nowhere, and we, not the police, have to handle a giant mob of bad guys, which we do, which is then immediately followed by Scorpion beating our shit. Pause. Wait, the same dilemma as the Scorpion and Martin Lee being introduced, we do see Peter looking at the arms that him and Otto were working on from the first game, but I guess it's kind of just there. Then after, we get to go back to Spider-Man and watch Pete fail to be Spider-Man, not being able to save the people on the roller coaster and not stopping the bombing, setting up a theme for redemption for Pete in both games. Once again, just Pete. Miles is still chilling. What is this reverse YOLO? Why not? No, it's funny. It's funny. It's gonna be funny. Okay. Whatever, dude. Wait, what? What do you mean they found them? How? No. They definitely didn't. No. I made sure they wouldn't find them. No, they definitely did not. Okay, just keep me posted. Those side characters we were introduced to a little bit ago, yeah, they have powers now. And they aren't the only ones who have to step up, because in both stories, Pete eventually has to step up himself and save the villains to be a better Spider-Man. Or I guess Harry was, but Pete was still there, supporting, probably. Also, this isn't a special plot point or a scene or anything, but in both games, just throughout the entire story at random times, MJ's just constantly doing stupid shit he shouldn't be doing. And it's still boring in the new game. It's just slightly less boring. Why won't you let me be the certified badass with super strength and not the weak, fragile, probably anorexic human? I guess it doesn't matter if I'm badass, because either way, I get my ass handed to me and literally die, or at least it looks like it. For the third time, just Pete, not Miles, just Pete. It's like the game. Then that same important side character that we got introduced to appears and has to save our weak asses for plot development. But once again, I just like to point out, it's still Pete, just Pete getting saved though. Miles was doing the saving and won, and the other, he was just off to the side chilling. He could hold his own, I guess. Then once all this is over, you probably guess what happens next. Let me give you a hint. It only happens to Pete. Once again, he gets the crap beaten out of him. Bro, what the fuck? Also, out of nowhere, at random points in both stories, there's just a random boss battle that just turns into a chase through the city. Also, following random, Pete just gets mad. Like, in both games, at random times, someone just tells him something and he just, like, loses it. Which, okay, I guess.
Just like all the others. Turn. Turn. I've worshipped you. Destroy us?
We also then beat Lee, escaping the shadow dimension. This time, Miles got involved since it had victory though. It's the only reason he was involved is because it had victory. Speaking of that same scene, Pete also gets out of a bad headspace, I guess you could call it. I guess that's a good way, getting out of the symbiote and the negative energy affecting his mental state. Also, it's kind of just thrown in that one of our good friends is now a villain because they clearly didn't have enough villains in this game already. I'm not complaining, just I do have to give them credit though. Playing as Venom in this game was one of the coolest things I have ever seen in a video game. They caught me off guard in a long time. Like, they did amazing.
Wait, what?
And then the Kraven battle happened. Oh my god, the Kraven battle was absolutely mental. This might have actually been my favorite video game boss fight I've ever seen. The second game did have that one thing the first game didn't have. These are also very different scenarios, but Kraven did get wrecked like I was just talking about. And then so did Norman, but one of them was actually cool and entertaining, and the other one was just kind of pathetic. And this is also another really fun, cool fight that I got to do. I enjoyed this a lot, and this was also really unexpected, so I kind of just needed to throw it in here. Maybe the second game isn't so bad after all.
Too bad. What?
Then again, Spider-Man goes to a negative place, then gets out. Oh look, there's Miles. Winning. Not losing, winning. Dude, here we go again. Oh look, Pete's crying, but not Miles. Bro, what is this? May dies and Pete cries twice. And Miles is just chilling in the background both times. He's not there. He's not going through this pain. Only Pete is going through this in both games. This is off topic, but oh my god. All Miles went through is a dead dad and a friend that tries to hurt him, but then backs out last second, alright? Yes, she does pass away. Yes, it was very tragic. Both of those instances were very sad. This is just a rough count off my head. But Pete had at least 6 of his friends try to kill him. They didn't back out. Pete had to beat him himself. None of them backed out. Oh, Miles' dad died. So did Pete's dad die. And then his mom died. And they got new parents, his uncle and May, and then his uncle died. And then his aunt died. And most of his friends died. I don't know why Pete even has friends at this point. They all just try to kill him. It is so unfair how Sunshine and Rainbows Miles' story is, but that's beyond my control. I'm trying to stick on this one topic and not diverge off. Oh, sick. Pete finally got a new suit that looks good, which is exactly why Miles got a suit. Because Pete got something that's good, so does Miles. I guess it is kind of fair because Pete got 3 new awesome suits, and Miles just got that one dog shit suit, so I guess they did have to screw him some way because even the developers knew that Miles was just having a perfect storyline. And then after all that Miles BS, Pete does get into a fight, and then it looks like he's gonna lose with Miles nowhere around. Miles isn't allowed to lose. I do have to say the fight was pretty sick though. And then not Miles, but Pete has to risk killing their friend just to do the right thing and save the city.
You have to kill us.
Oh, he's dead.
And it's not Miles. To be fair, Miles' friend did kill herself. I know! Then after all of that, those friends of Pete, once again, Miles' friends are good people. Pete's friends try to kill him and then get locked up in prison. Or I guess one gets locked up in prison, the other one gets put in a coma, which is basically the same thing. And then for no fucking reason, Miles just becomes the new Spider-Man. He just gets the mantle. And for reasons I believe I've already expressed to you guys, I was not a fan of that decision, but whatever. Oh yeah, I guess Miles also foreshadowed becoming new Spider-Man in the first game, coming onto the ceiling, but I don't care at all. Oh yeah, and then we got a teaser for the new games. One was a new character, and the other was that fucking guy getting on the ceiling. I guess to wrap up the point of the story, I got a little off topic with this Miles thing, but I did obviously skip some important points, but the main plot points were all the same for the most part. Honestly, I don't even care about the entire topic of this video at this point. I'm just so baffled by how biased this is towards Miles. Like, I'm looking at my script right now, just absolutely amazed that I didn't catch on to this until just now. It's honestly pathetic. Like, I just want them to make Miles suffer, dude. Like, not in a dark, like, a horrible way, but like, what is up with this white underprivileged? I can't say that. What is up with this shit that Pete has to go through? Like, it's not even fair. He's just getting hit after hit, a beating after beating. Everything he knows and loves is going down. He gets his ass kicked every 13 minutes. And it's just sunshine and rainbows for Miles. I think the hardest thing Miles did the entire 3 games, I guess, if you even count this as a game, is he did have to I guess ask Kaylee out. That was probably pretty scary. I'm glad he got through that. Obviously it wasn't easy. As far as the games go, the games are both still awesome, I guess, but you know, fuck Miles. Hope he gets killed off in the next game. 9 out of 10 for the second game.
Honestly, I just didn't want to make another Minecraft video, and this was the only other thing that I could come up with.
10 out of 10 the first. I think my 9 out of 10 is very explanatory, and I think we both know my ranking for the Miles sequel.
That shit might actually be more disappointing than MW3.
This video doesn't even matter at this point. I just want to see Miles perish. I'm also not buying Spider-Man 3 if Pete isn't in it.